Dude, the boxes and shit, it's goofy.
Welcome to Master Memories, the podcast where my friends talk about their lives. Today, on October 9th, 2022, I'm here with Adam Ribo? Is that pronounced? Rebo. Adam Rebo Sieber, a.k.a. C, a.k.a. Bloody Mary, a.k.a. You have any other nicknames I missed?
I'm sure there's plenty of them, but nah, that's good. That's good. Just those. We'll stick with those for now.
Sweet. What's your first memory of me and you?
My first memory of the two of us probably have to be pledging or sometime then. I guess it would be when they had us all sitting in that room. You know, we'd walk in, we were all in our suits, and we were waiting while they were in the basement. I think you were just like seated somewhere around, because I remember seeing everybody be like, all right, this is the crew. Like there were 14 of us, 2 of them ended up dropping.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really remember like our first like conversation or anything, but definitely you were one of the motlier characters from that setup.
Yeah, I feel like everyone just kind of like appeared.
Didn't you like not have a tie or something? Or, like didn't have.
No,
you didn't have the shoes or something. And
I wasn't wearing dress socks. That's what it was.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I don't know that, and then I was also like 5 minutes late because I was like, oh, I should be like fashionably late. No one wants to be that guy on time, and yeah.
I remember that, and I was like, oh god, who's this clown? Like, dude, already getting like our balls busted.
Dude, you like I'll never forget. Like, so I don't know if you remember, but like, did you talk to Neltner at all during Rush?
Neltner? No, I don't think so. I didn't talk to him at all, really. Like, I never really did anything with him.
I talked to him like once or twice during Rush, but like when he came in fully shaved, I did not recognize him.
Yeah.
Like, I really thought like he was a pledge. We might have to cut that part out there, but yeah, it's semantics.
You can't dig into any of that. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that'd probably be the first. Being like, who's this fucking guy not wearing the right shit and coming late? So I guess start off on a bad note, technically.
Yeah, it's fuck me, I guess. You know,
Yeah.
never come prepared. I mean, dude, I was looking at myself before I came on the pod. I'm like, because I was wearing a gray sweatshirt. I'm like, nah, I can't come on Steve's episode with a gray outfit. Not today.
That'd be funny.
Yeah. So what were you doing today before we started filming?
Oh god. I will go to my friend's house because I ended up sleeping there last night because out until fucking super late. Lost my credit card, so I think I think it's at Seesaw, so I'm gonna go there after this and try and see if they have it. But literally nothing. I woke up, I got an Uber home, and then literally just been like laying in bed. I ate some food and like kind of just picking up. My room always gets like torn up on weekends just because I like change and just leave clothes and shit. Yeah. So I usually spend my Sundays laying in bed on TikTok and like picking up after myself.
Nah, I don't think there's anything more cathartic than cleaning a room because it's like you like literally like see how it's like getting better.
And it feels good. It's like my room is like my brain. And it's nice to just have like a clean brain.
Well, getting it uncluttered just feels great.
Right, totally. But yeah, no, nothing crazy in there.
Also, is it me? All right, I've had this thought a couple times after going to Seesaw. I love the bar, but I feel like it's adult bowls. Like with the
that was the first time I'd ever been there.
Yeah. And
I've kind of heard that it's like shitty. Like people don't like. I was hammered, so I don't like.
Yeah.
I remember we went like straight upstairs, and it was like packed, like shoulder to shoulder, like. Fucking drinks were expensive. I think I dropped like $70 when I was checking this morning, but it was so fun. I was with Masala actually, so we were just like fucking around, like mosh pit, like jumping and just dancing like fucking crazy. But I mean, I thought it was cool. I wasn't really like in the best mind to be like looking around and like but it's cool. I thought I would not be opposed to going back there sometime.
Nah,
but definitely like Bulls, it's pretty upbeat.
It's a fun time, but like you said, it's Bulls-ish. But did you go on the Seesaw?
No, I don't know where the Seesaw was. We literally like went in, like ordered at the bar right at the top of the steps, and then just like stood 30 feet away and like just kind of went back and forth. Like we didn't even move. We just kind of like danced.
Damn. It's like right out. You know, like did you go to the outside patio at all?
No.
Oh, there's an outside patio.
Oh, really?
It's like right out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We always had this funny video of my roommate. He took one of our neighbors to a date party at Seesaw. He's in like Theta Chi, and they take a video, like she took a Snapchat of him on the seesaw. Like she starts the video on her and like flips it around, and then it's him on the seesaw like wee. So we always like that was always my seesaw memory. It was just him being a clown there. But yeah, it's super close to my house, so I probably should go there more often.
Yeah, you're living right off High Street, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Not even like if you know where the real fancy White Castle is, I don't know if I've had this conversation with you before now, but like a few doors down from that, it's like not far at all.
Are you right by the Jerome at all?
The Jerome, I don't know what that is.
It's on like Denison and something else. I don't know. My buddies live there, and it's like.
Is it an apartment complex?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really close to Denison too, so I'm sure I'm near it. If you know where like North Star Cafe is.
Yeah. Like we either walk up the street that has the fancy White Castle or the Urban Meyer like chop shop thing. It's like in between those two.
Yep, that's a little bit further from me, but yeah.
What's your typical day or week look like right now?
Right now, so I'm working over in Hilliard. So a typical week, I guess I'll start with Sunday because we're already here. I kind of talked about it. Usually being hungover and just kind of like running errands, like just typical like get yourself ready for the week kind of shit.
Sunday scaries of the adult world.
Right. No, very very real, very very problematic. Then Monday, wake up early, go to work. I work in like a big manufacturing plant, but it's like a mostly desk job. Like I'll go out on the plant floor and like do stuff and look at things, but like most of what I do, I have my own office, which is really cool. So I'm just usually like chilling in there.
Oh yeah.
But after work, Monday, like on weekdays, I try to go to the gym right after work. But some days I don't because I'm lazy. But go to the gym for like an hour and a half. Usually get home at like 5:30 maybe, and then I am so terrible about cooking. So sometimes I will cook something, or like I honestly will just eat like a bowl of cereal for dinner just because like I will have an entire day where I'll take like 300 steps at work because I just like drive, I sit down, I like don't leave my desk, and then I go home. So like by the time dinner rolls around, I'm not like hungry because I usually get like a burrito for lunch.
Yeah.
So I just don't need like the extra calories. So I just have like a bowl of cereal, or I'll like order something like North Star. I think I'll pick up a sandwich or a burrito from Chipotle or something. Yeah, weekdays are pretty boring for me because then after I eat, I usually maybe will run errands if I need to, but I don't really do that much. Sometimes I've been playing. We'll go down to the RPAC fields. Me and a couple of my buddies have been playing like spike ball and some tennis, which I have not played tennis since I was like 8. So that was cool, getting a little bit back into tennis. But other than that, like don't really do much on weekdays. Sometimes I'll throw on like Monday Night Football or whatever, but usually don't do shit. Kind of just like chilling home, watch a movie. Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And then Thursdays I usually try to like find somebody to go out. Like this Thursday I was at my buddy's house and we were gonna go out to like Outer because he lives on Lane, and we were like, man, this is pretty fun. So we just like kept staying and drinking at his house, and then like fucking had to get up all hungover for work, which is dumb. But usually I do. We try to see if anybody feels like going out on Thursday, and we'll try to do something. And then Friday after work, recently I've been doing a lot of like here and there weekend trips, like going to places. Like I just was in Chicago last weekend. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, usually I'll just like hopefully have something planned out before in the week of who I'm hanging out with. Because I'm just like, I love to socialize, you know, I'm sure you're aware, but so I usually just try to figure out who is down to like do something Friday night, and then we'll go out and do something, go out. And then Saturday, I pretty much wake up and start drinking because it's football hall right now, so like, I always try to plan out where I'm going to go beforehand. So like, yesterday we went to like my buddy's apartment in Grandview and like pregame there, and then went to my other buddy's house, like watched the game. But I like to like plan my route out of like, okay, I'll start at this guy's house, and then like these girls are doing things, so I'll go to there, and then like I'll be close to Block, so I'll go to Block, and then like do whatever. But usually plan that out, and then end up doing something stupid like losing my card at Seesaw. So Saturdays are tough days.
If you didn't do something stupid, it was really a fun Saturday.
Right, exactly. It wouldn't be at all. That's right. But yeah, a lot of drinking on Saturdays.
I don't know. I feel you though with that planning. Like I don't know. I'm getting back in tune with that recently. Like on Saturdays, because I'm not trying to be the old head at block the entire time. So like, okay, I'll go here this time. Like it feels a little bit like freshman year when you were like hopping between different blocks. Like but like different.
Is alumni block next weekend or like the following? I know it's coming up.
I don't know, but considering we just had all of our alumni here last weekend, I don't know how many people are gonna come for alumni block.
Yeah, I was so mad at the reason I was in Chicago last weekend was because I was visiting Paulie T and my other buddy Joe, who I've lived with on 14th, and they're both up in Chicago, so I was gonna go up and visit them, and the Reds are playing the Cubs, so we got like tickets to go to the Cubs games. I think I went to Wrigley when I was like a little kid, but like I'd never been to Wrigley.
Yeah.
So we bought tickets, and it was for like that weekend, and we were all like excited, planning. I like bought these like beginning of the summer, right, like forever ago. And then finally getting down to it, I figure out that like the fucking weekend, I look at it's like Rutgers, and I'm like, oh, it's a perfect weekend to miss, like who gives a shit if like, you don't watch the Rutgers game? And of course that ended up being like alumni weekend, so like, homecoming, so like a bunch of people who came back that I wanted to see, but I didn't get a chance to, so that kind of sucked, but also I did get to hang out in Chicago, so it was a lot of fun too.
Yeah, that sounds like it. I'll say this about Rutgers weekend, it was fun, like, the morning, but I feel like at the game and after, everyone, like, all the graduates were just like, okay, time to shut it down. Like, the afters I went to, at least, like, the couple, it was like, it was all the young guys still.
Yeah.
It was like, because, you drink, it was a day game, so, you drink starting at noon, until whatever, you take a nap, you wake up, it's like 11, it's like, get it started at 11, like, what am I, like 18?
I went to, they had like a joint afters with, like, Fidel or something, or like somebody, it wasn't at our place, it was like on Indy.
Yeah.
And some of my friends were there, and I was like, alright, I'll go, like, see what's up, like, meet up with them. It was a girl I was trying to, like, meet up with too, but, I go there, and, like, it sucked. Like, not only was it, like, pretty much empty, but, like, the speakers kept, like, not working. They would, like, cut out, like, they would lose power or something. Like, when I got there, they had already run out of beer. Like, it was not a good function, so.
I feel like afters are always hectic as shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, they always end up, you either have a great time or you're like, why am I here?
Like, half the people are, like, too tired to, like, be doing this. The other half is, like, too drunk to be doing it. Like, it's always
there's none of that balance of, like, kind of tired but also drunk enough to keep going.
Right,
Like,
right. And there's, like, 4 people on coke who are just having, like, the time of their life.
Right.
Like, well.
the one afters I was at, they had, they filled a water gun full of Jaeger, and we're just going around.
Oh my god, I think I saw something like on somebody's story about that.
It was goofy.
That's gross. Wait, what else was I gonna say about Afties? Oh, did you see the picture they sent of all of them in their lederhosen?
Yeah.
You know what that was for?
It was for Oktoberfest party.
That was so fucking fun. I have real lederhosen. Why didn't we do that when we were fucking...
I was telling Sam that because, like, I was like, why didn't you do this, like, last semester while we still had, like, all of us? And he was like, oh, we've been, like, talking about it for a while. We just never did it. I'm like,
I was so... Like, it brought a tear to my eye because I was so proud. Because we, at my house, tried to do an Oktoberfest party just, like, with our friends, and it just kind of, like, didn't end up happening. Like, people were out of town. Like, whatever. We just kind of pushed it off, and then it didn't happen. I was so pissed because I have these fucking lederhosen, and I've worn them, like, out drinking and doing stuff. Like, I think it was like the Thursday before Halloween last year. I wore them to like outer, like something stupid like that. But like they're nice. They're like nice, like real lederhosen, like passed down to my family. Like my dad had it or whatever. And I've never got to fucking do either an Oktoberfest party. Like I saw that and I was like, hey, that's beautiful. So proud of you boys. But be like, fuck, why can't I have been there?
dude, it was so surreal. I walked out to my living room and like 3 or 4 people in lederhosen, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This is sick. And they're like, yeah, they didn't have block last weekend because, this weekend, that was yesterday, shit. Because, away game, fuck Michigan State. I don't know. I agree with you though, like, Oktoberfest would have been fun, and I'm sad we didn't get to do it, but the one thing still on my college to-do list is I never went to a toga party.
Really?
Need to go to toga.
We threw 2 banger toga parties at my house. I don't really remember why. We just kind of like thought it'd be fun. It was like after we'd moved in, and we made friends with all the neighbors, and we were like, all right, we gotta throw a party. Like, this would be really fun. So we just wanted to do toga parties. So we did it like September or something, like early on in the year, maybe October, but probably September. And it just went like so well that we're like, we have to do this again next year. So then the following year, it was like our 2nd annual toga party. But that shit was so fun. Those and we had a birthday party where you know how they were giving out the fully vaxxed t-shirts?
Yeah.
We like over the course of like 2 weeks we'd send everybody, like the guys in our friend group, every time they went to the RPAC or somewhere, they would get a shirt or like try to get 2 or something. And we ended up collecting, like the day of the party, I think, like we got like we just went crazy. Like one of my friends came back with like 10, another guy got like 8. And we ended up getting like 80 something shirts. And so for the party, we like laid them out in their sizes on like our kitchen table, and everyone that came in were like, "Go put on a shirt, go put on a shirt," and like everybody did. And I think we ended with like 3 T-shirts. Like 82 people like showed up or whatever. But it was fucking sick, and everyone was wearing the shirts. Like one guy like wasn't wearing it. My roommate like was like, "No, get in the kitchen! Like you're wearing the fucking shirt! Like you're not." So literally everyone was in the shirts, and it just looked sick. And it was like because. My birthday was like the 11th of December, and then my other roommate's was like the 10th.
Yeah.
So it was like our combined birthday party. So the Toga party and that party were like the 2 best ones we did, for sure.
I love a good event party where it's like, you know, there's something that everyone's gonna be, whether, like, except for White Lies. I think that's been overdone as shit. But
Yeah.
I've seen. Have you seen like there's almost a new version of it. It's like a Red Flags party where.
Yeah, those are funny.
Those are I think more funny because it's just get more creative, more personal.
Yeah, I mean, you want any party to have like a good theme so people have something to like get excited about and like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As much fun as just like a generic party is, it's like when you have like something like you said to look forward to. Oh, I'm gonna do this. Like,
right.
I'm so excited for Halloween because I've been growing out the stash because I'm going as Borat.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I got.
Yeah, that'll look good. That'll look real good.
I've got a shitty shirt. I've got a shitty tie.
You got the eyebrows for it. You know?
Yeah. All I need is the shitty suit, and I'm gonna be going. My wife, very nice. Like I gotta get the voice down better, but.
I gotta figure out what I should do for Halloween.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Me and my buddies are trying to figure out like if they're gonna be throwing something in their apartment for
a Toga party.
Damn, that's sick.
Isn't that cool? And then those are like all of our neighbors. It's like pretty sick.
That was cool.
And then we had we'd always do like a thing of Jungle Juice, you know? Yeah. And it was just such a hit. Like our house was fucking trash, but it was so fun. But yeah, that was definitely one of our. And then I think Beer Olympics was the next day because there's like me and Joko. But yeah, that was definitely like a top 5 party for us for sure.
That's fun. That's the thing that like I've been realizing about like adulthood is like I don't know the next time there's gonna be like a house party. You know,
right.
It's like apartment parties now. If you have a house, you're probably like an adult with kids or whatever. You know.
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of just like intending to do 5th year. Like I'm still like up on campus, like hanging out doing college party type stuff. Like I used to, which is like at the end of this year, I don't know what I'll do as far as like when it's time to sign a new lease or whatever. Like, I don't want to live like where I am, like with the people because I live with 3 girls, which is fucking cool. But. Like we agreed like we don't want to. This was just a 1-year thing. Mm-hmm. So I got to figure out like where do I want to live? Like who do I want to live with? Because like if come next year all my friends graduate and like leave Columbus, I don't really have like a reason to stay here. You know, like unless I like get a girlfriend or something, or like if a group of people stays here, then like maybe I will. But I really outside of like the people I know that are here, like I don't have any ties. Like none of my family's here. Like maybe I'll go back. Cincinnati, but I don't really know anybody there anymore, like, that well, like, I want to live with, like, one of my buddies, but, like, they're all spread out, you know, I'm probably not gonna move to, like, Denver to live with my buddy, so, I don't know, I got a lot of, like, big life decisions to make, but I'm putting those off until I have to make them.
I'm the same way, like, the goal is come August next year not to be in Columbus, but the question is where.
Right.
You know? And, like you said, later problem.
It almost hurts that, like, for us, like, as, engineers, like it's really easy for us to get jobs, so like it's almost like we have too many options of like we could literally go wherever we wanted.
Yeah, not even just in America is the problem too. Like I got my parents are trying to get me to like work in Israel or Europe or somewhere. I'm like, that's just I didn't even realize outside the Americas like a possibility.
Yeah.
And I just like brains fucking racing like.
I don't think that would be a possibility for me, but yeah, that'd be crazy, dude, if you did that.
Yeah. No, I feel like I could see you in London or something like that.
Yeah, I would definitely love the attention of being like the American
Yeah.
and like in London, but like it would have to be somewhere where they speak English because I'm so bad with like languages. Like
Yeah.
even like I took Latin in grade school and high school, which was so stupid. Because like even that I was so just bad at like so everything has to be English. So that really cuts down your options and like
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel sad about element. Maybe like I don't know, man. If I don't know, I'm definitely not gonna be job hunting in London anytime soon, but it could happen. I don't know. My parents aren't like the healthiest of adults, so like I don't know if I want to be that far from them, forever. But I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. This is already too far from my mom, and it's like 2
Yeah.
hours. It's like come on, man.
No, like you said, it's a later problem.
Right,
So-
right. It's so important, and like your entire life is gonna revolve around it for the time that you spend like wherever you are. Like if I did move out to like Denver, like that's a complete change than living here, like completely different world. And it's so important, but like I don't want to put any thought into it. I just want to like I'll figure it out whatever.
No, there's some balance of like go on a whim, but at the same time, like you've thought about it somewhat. Because like
Right.
if you think about it too much, you're gonna find something you're not gonna like. If you don't think about it at all, then like you might end up in Azerbaijan or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm. Azerbaijan.
That's how it's pronounced. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know what. It's like weird because it's like nice to have the option, like a ability to do that, and
Yeah.
like it's so freeing and like, but also like it sucks because
It's analysis paralysis.
it's the. I remember a while ago I was reading some article. I don't remember actually how. Maybe it was like YouTube video or something, but it was about how one of the reasons like young people in like modern society like why like cell phones and like kind of the technological age that we're in there's like so much higher like anxiety and like depression and that kind of stuff is because like in part with all this access to more like amenities and like having like a million options at the touch of your finger leads to like unhappiness and choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you have too many options, it like leaves consumers like unhappy. I think it was a study for like a big brand like to see like whatever, but it was like if you only give a consumer like 2 or 3 options, like they're not gonna get what's perfect. Like I think it was like about the analogy was pants. It was like if you only offer like 3 different types of pants, like a lot of people are gonna be upset because you're not gonna have exactly what they want, or it's not gonna be totally in their size or whatever. But if you have 1,000 options of pants, not only is that like impossible and like the decision's gonna take way longer to make if you want to really like refine it or like whatever, but they end up going with something, and if there's like one little thing wrong, like if it's the ends are rolled and they don't like that, they're gonna blame the consumer blames himself.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, like there were so many better options and I went with this one, like I'm so stupid. So instead, if you give them too few options, they're angry at like the company for like not offering more. But if you give them too much, they'll get upset with themselves for their like making a bad decision or what they perceive to be a bad decision. So I just thought that was interesting that like people, they say that it's tied to like, because with having everything at your fingertips, like convenience has never been better. Like standard of living is always improving over time, but like our happiness is like going down overall because of it, which is just like interesting. It's like
when you have everything at your fingertips, like you also have everything at your fingertips.
Right. Right. So I don't know, it's weird.
Where do you lean politically and why?
Pretty central, honestly. Like both my parents are conservative, and I was like raised Catholic and everything. My Catholic grade school was like really religious too, especially like I went to an all-male like boys high school, Catholic high school, but like not pretty loosely Catholic, just kind of like all the guys that like there were some like real devout guys, but like not the majority of them,
Yeah.
especially because like we recruited for sports a little bit, but all these other guys I knew that went to other like Catholic grade schools around Cincinnati, I was like telling them about like where I went, and they're like, bro, like what the fuck is that? Like not like anything like shady was going on, but like it was so strict and like so like not fun. Like, I think money was always tight for him, and like, it just sucked. And like, a lot of the people that came out of it were like super devout. Like, even my twin sister is like still very religious. So like, a vast majority of people that come out of there are like not really normal because they're like super overly religious compared to like all these other like grade school kids. So like, we always joke that like I was a survivor because like I came out like more normal than like most of the other kids. But so definitely like some conservative in my background, but and I would say like probably in high school I was a lot more than I was now. Maybe that's because like, you know, college is so like left leaning and everything. But I've always like issue basis, like I just kind of, you know, neither side like totally you know, reflects my opinion on like everything. Like I'm super like pro-choice because I think that like, you know, that whatever for whatever reason, but like capital punishment like I support. So like, and those are kind of two things that like don't really line up together. Like those are just like a couple examples, but on a lot of issues I will see I'll go like one way with one, which would be like one party traditionally, and then another way on another one. So like neither, but I'd say yeah, pretty central, but maybe a little bit conservative leaning, just because I hate seeing how much I pay in taxes. Mostly, like that's pretty much it. I just think the government's a little too big and like reaches a little too much and has to dip their fingers into everything a little more than they need to. So I think that would make me a little more right leaning.
Yeah.
But
I remember getting my first paycheck and like looking at it like, where the fuck did all the money go?
Yeah.
Like, what is this FICA shit? You know, like.
no, it like hurts because at my internships, like I would be so excited to like check my like payroll just to see like how much money I could accumulate by the end of the year,
Yeah.
or by the end of the summer, you know, and like be like, oh shit, like I made like $12,000 this summer, like that was really good.
Yeah.
But now whenever I check, it's just like watching the amount I've spent in taxes get bigger and bigger, because it's not like I have like an end of my job where it's like, now I don't really, I always ended the summer like, even when I didn't have like internships, I was just like a landscaper. Like I would try to work like as many hours as I could, like get as much overtime in. Like I would work like 50 hours a week over the summer just to like make more money so that I didn't have to work during the school year and I could kind of like spend a little more freely, which like worked out really well. I was really happy with like that as my system of like money and stuff. But now I don't really have to worry about that because I just kind of like, I'm just getting paid to like keep showing up to work, you know what I mean? So now it's just kind of like, I'm just sort of financially taken care of. It's just kind of like happening in the background. So now whenever I go to check, it's not like, gotta make more money. It's just like looking at my tax dollar, get like the number getting bigger and bigger every fucking 2 weeks. And it's like not fun to look at my payroll anymore. Like I can't, like I'll see like, you know, year to date and that's like cool and everything, but like, I'm so not focused on that. I'm focused on like the tax. And it's like, holy fuck. Even like, I thought, I guess this is pretty naive of me, but I thought like bonuses weren't taxed. Like I thought that was kind of like,
those are the most taxed.
Right. I thought that like, that's why corporations give like their higher ups such huge bonuses, because I thought it was like, that's their kind of loophole to like not have to get like income tax or anything, which is very wrong and very stupid of me to believe. But, so I was all excited for my signing bonus and I got like half of it like taken away, you know, it's like, that sucked, but, you know, whatever.
I've been joking with for years that, honestly half joking at this point, to get married for tax purposes, because like I don't know about you, I'll like put in my like salary, hourly stuff, and then like I'll do like the married and then unmarried, and be like, shit, that's so much money that I could be saving. Like,
I'm like claiming myself as a dependent, like.
I mean personally I do depend on myself.
I know, yeah, I'm dependent on my own income, so.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just sucks.
Yeah.
Can I have some water? Can we have like a breathe?
Yeah, go for it.
I think there's a.
Alright.
Phase 2.
Yeah. That was a brief word from our sponsor. Hope you enjoyed it. What's your relationship like with your family?
You want to talk like extended family or just like immediate family?
Whatever you want.
So my twin sister and I used to be a lot closer than we are now. I mean, we're still close, but we used to be like really close.
Mm-hmm.
But now she has a boyfriend for like the first time ever. Started dating at like the beginning or middle of summer. So instead of like coming to me with like anything she wanted to talk about or like, you know, like we'd FaceTime a lot, but now she just goes to her boyfriend with all this stuff. So don't see her as much as she also moved up to Detroit. She's living with my aunt and uncle, and she's working as a teacher, and she works at the same school as my cousin. So like she's living with my aunt and uncle and like working with my cousin. So like that's a whole fucking thing. But don't see her enough anymore. I think I was talking about like getting together with her in a couple weekends, but still close. You know, just not as close as we used to be.
You just got replaced as well.
Right, exactly. He's a cool dude though.
Yeah.
He's cool. And then my parents, are down in Cincinnati. I mean, you know, we text and we'll FaceTime every now and then, but I don't really like go down there often just because like, you know, there's too much like fun stuff going on up here. Which I think sometimes my sister gets mad at me for because she's like, she just thinks that I'm like up here like, because, you know, I'm trying to like, you know, enjoy myself while I'm up here like with all my friends, like, because then everyone's gonna like move away and then that'll be the end of the little like college experience. So I'm trying to like milk it as much as I can. So she kind of thinks I'm like a bum for not like coming home more often and like coming around, but like I don't want to miss a weekend here. I mean, yeah, like we're still like close and everything. We'll like I said, like FaceTime and text and stuff. And then my cousins and stuff. We have a lake house over in Indian Lake, which is like an hour northwest from here. And we shared, like my parents and my aunt and uncle bought it together. So like over the summers, we see them a ton. Them and the one cousin of mine who, on that side we have one that's married, so we don't really see her as much, but she's had a baby, Sophie, and her first birthday was like a week ago.
Oh, happy birthday, Sophie.
Yeah, she's so cute. Wait, ready?
Aww.
So cute. So we don't see her as much because she's busy with all that stuff. My other cousin, he actually lives in Columbus, but like he kind of just does his own thing. Like we don't really. I remember we went to his house when I was like 10 or 12 or something it was his birthday party.
Yeah.
We were celebrating. We might have done like 2 birthdays at once, like maybe my mom's 2 or something. But we were there and we're like, yeah, when's like Colin getting here? And she's like, oh, I don't really know. He was probably in high school, like, you know, like 17 or 18 or something. Maybe it was older than that, I don't remember. But either way, we're gonna have dinner and like do cake and stuff, and like we were waiting for him and he just never really showed up. And then like we're literally getting ready to leave. It's probably 10:30 or 11 or whatever, and Colin like walks in and we're like, happy birthday. He's like, oh, thanks for coming. Like we're literally like we met him like when we were walking out of the door. We saw him and he's like, hey, what's going on? We're like, so that was funny how he basically missed his own birthday party. Then the other one, the youngest one is Justin, who's only a couple years older than us. So we see my aunt, uncle, and Justin at the lake house like all the time over the summer, which is really fun because I mean, not only is it great to see family, but like they're really fun. Like they're like fun to hang out with, fun to drink with and stuff. So
yeah, I'm glad that it sounds like you're pretty close with your extended family.
Yeah, definitely some. The rest of the family up in Detroit, you know, we're still close to and everything, but you know, harder to see them with everything going on. But I mean, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to see him around the holidays. So. Yeah.
I think to your point of like not going down in Cincy as much, I've kind of experienced that with my parents only being 20 minutes away. Like in my eyes, it's like you're in your 20s, like it's the time to be independent.
Right.
You know, like it's like family and stuff. It's like, you know, you can't. You gotta like live your life. You know,
right.
You gotta grow as a person and do your thing. You know.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a happy medium of like not being like my cousin Colin, just kind of like totally. I'm making him sound probably worse than it is, but like there's a fine line between like doing your own thing and like kind of blowing off your family. So like I'm trying to find like the happy like middle ground of not blowing off anybody too much, but and I don't think I'm doing a bad job, but my sister just gives me a hard time sometimes. So.
No, it's hard. I mean, there's only so much time in the day, and you know, there's so many responsibilities. I feel like between like work, life, social, family, personal health. You know, this, that, the other. Just you can only do so much in 24 hours. What do you think is your most unique talent?
Pretty creative. We always had fun, like coming up with like not only like party themes and like fun stuff. If we were gonna have people over, but also if it was just like the boys like doing a pregame, we could never just like sit around and drink beer. Like we had to like do something stupid. So like coming up with creative shit like that was always fun. So I guess short answer is like my creativity, but like one time we had a keg for when we had everybody's like family up, you know, it was like a Maryland game, and like we had a big tailgate with all the parents and stuff, and somebody bought us a keg, or we bought one or something.
Mm-hmm.
But we had it left over, we didn't finish it. So we didn't know how much was in it, but we knew that we had drank some of it, but we had like the remaining of a keg.
Yeah.
And 2 of my roommates out of the 5 of us had like gone back to Cleveland for the weekend or something. And we were like, all right, we gotta like drink this beer before it like expires or something. Like, I don't know, we're just leaving it. So we said that the three of us were gonna like do a pregame on like a Friday or Saturday night. Maybe I think it was Saturday during the day. But we were like, okay, we're gonna go out onto our table, like our big dive table in the front yard. You know, real. If you've seen it, it's like a real fucking sturdy thing.
Yeah.
We're like, all right, we're gonna go out there. We're gonna have a desert island pregame. We have to sit on the table, and we're not allowed to get off of it until we finish the keg. And we're like, this keg could be almost done, and it just takes us 30 minutes, or it could be almost full. Like we couldn't really, because it's heavy as shit, but like it's a keg, so you don't really know, right?
Yeah.
So we had no idea how long it would take, and it took forever. We must have drank 10 to 12 beers, but it was so fucking funny because we were about to start, and we were like, I'm walking down with it, and we were like trying to figure out like shake it wouldn't sound, but if you kind of sloshed it, you could hear like a big like, and we're like, oh fuck, like it's pretty full.
Yeah.
So the 3 of us sat out there, and it started out as like, this is like oh, this is pretty funny, you know, like oh, this is like a stupid bit we're doing, like whatever, it's funny. Like our neighbors see us, like what the fuck are you doing? We're like, oh, we're drinking this guy, right? And then it gets into like, this is so dumb, like this is not fun at all, right? Like my back hurts from like sitting awkwardly on this fucking thing. Like whenever we had to pee, we had like a chair in the yard, like 2 chairs that we would like pivot to get to the side of our house, like to like stand on, so we didn't go in the water fucking. And then like it was terrible. Like it was so like you're all right, like leaning on your arms, and like there's nothing to do. It's like you can't play a drinking game. Like
sure does that island experience.
And then so it was like, oh, this is funny, to like, this is stupid, we should stop. Like there's way too much beer in this keg. To like, this is the most fun I've ever had at a pregame. Because like, we're getting hammered because we're just like filling up these big. We didn't even have like red Solo cups. We were using these big like tubs from like our kitchen. I don't know why. But so we're like filling them up and like trying to pound them, like, so we're getting hammered, and we have no idea how much like is left to go. And we had started like, we got a couple die off of our, like we grabbed them off our porch.
Yeah.
And we were just like playing this stupidest like die rolling game where like lowest die roll wins. And like it started raining a little bit, like just drizzling a little bit, and we were like, oh, we can't call it off, like we gotta get to the bottom of this keg.
Yeah.
So we like took our shirts off and like tied around our head like we were actually stranded on a desert island. And it was just like me and 2 other dudes sitting on a table getting like pissed drunk, like in the middle of an afternoon in the rain, or like I don't know when it was, but like, and it was just so much fucking fun. It was like we don't, like people would be like walking by like, what the fuck are you doing? Like people we knew were like, what the fuck are you doing? We tell them, and they're like, that's ridiculous. And we're like, no, we're getting to the bottom of this game. Like not knowing when it was over was the funniest part, because we were just like, we just kind of knew we had to keep drinking. So
Yeah.
And we always look back on like, dude, that was like so much fun, and it was so simple and so stupid. But like, who in their right mind would like think to like that would be like a, you know, like you have a keg, you're like, oh, we'll just drink it the next time we have people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but we came up with like a really stupid way to do it, and it was really fun.
No, that's creative as shit. I mean, between all the different party things you've been coming up with and this shit, like, you're right. You got some juices flowing up there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was always fun. We'd me and like one of my roommates would be like in the writer's room. We'd go in my room and try to think of stuff. One time, I think it was at the Toga party, we did one of those like Irish drinking poems.
Mm-hmm.
So we wrote it about like the year, like stuff that had happened on our street and like our with COVID and stuff like that. So then me and him like wrote it together, and then like we gave the speech the thing, or I'd be like Joe got suspended, and everyone would go, "Aw," and I go, "He got reinstated," and they go, "Yay!" Like,
I love
so we
those.
wrote, so that was like fun. That was
Yeah.
kind of other stupid stuff we would do. It was like, you know, being creative was like that kind of stupid, silly shit too. And like we'd always be coming up with like new drinking games. Like we made a game called Trips and like various iterations on Beer Ball. Like, which again I don't. It's not like I get all the credit for this kind of stuff, but we always were trying to get creative just because I don't know why even we just like thought it was funny.
I mean, what is it, like boredom's the I don't even know the right word of creativity, like, I don't know, you get tired of something, you make something new.
No, literally, like, we kept playing Beer Ball at my one buddy's house just because he never had a cup, so that's the only
Yeah.
reason. And, like, we barely even had ping pong balls, too, but we were playing Beer Ball, and we just got so tired of, like, doing the Beer Ball normal that, like, we made it, like, we did, like, 4 different iterations, but it was, like, Globetrotters, where instead of, like, just, like, touching the ball down, you had to, because, you know how some people play, you have to, like, pass the ball into it. We did that, but, like, your whole team had to touch the ball, not just like one of them, and you like, it was like you had to like throw the ball like in the air, so you're doing like fucking. They looked like the Globetrotters were like assisting like on the play or something like, and then we did one where you just had to like. You had to like volleyball, like slap it to the other person, and then they have to like slap it on the table, like stupid shit like that. Like we found a way to do like if you have 5 people, we would do like 1v4 and just like rotate in the spots, like just because we were bored of the normal way to do it.
That's how you do it. That's you kind of touched on this a little bit. What were you doing when you first got the news of COVID?
What was I doing? Actually, it is kind of a funny story. I was in some gen ed. It was like literature. So I did like the really easy one that I heard about was like children's literature or something.
Oh yeah.
Or no, it was writing. I think it was writing. I don't remember. But I really enjoyed the class because it was very like simple. You just had to like write a lot. I think it was writing. And like I'm pretty good at just like word vomiting, and like of course everyone was gonna get an A, like that was easy. But we did stories. It was about like it was called like Where I'm From, and you had to like write about like where you came from and what it means, like kind of just take that phrase and like run with it. So I just wrote about like Cincinnati, blah 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 blah. But like half my class in this pretty small like 30-something like lecture or whatever was like. It really felt like a high school class because like we were in a small room and we all had our little like pod tables. Half of them were what's the word like overseas like
international
students, right? Yeah. And which was like weird how just like how high a number they were. But so we go around and I think she would have like a couple people who she liked, like she would have them read it to like the class, and we all kind of just like listen to her. And so somebody read theirs, and then she was like. Or I don't remember exactly how it came about, but one of the kids was from Wuhan.
No way.
And wrote about how like China was like locked down, like how he's like writing about like where he's from, his family, and he's like, but right now like Wuhan's like not doing well, like there's a really bad like. Very like wrote it like he was scared because he's like my family's saying this shit's happening, like they're like not allowed to leave their houses, like blah blah blah, and like kind of like. You know, from his perspective, it was like he was writing, like, kind of like 1984, kind of like, he's like, real shit's going on in China, like, like I'm like scared, I don't really know what's happening, like everybody's freaking out, like everyone's getting this disease, and like, he read it, or she asked him about it, and he just kind of like said that, or he read it to the class or something, and like, you could tell he was like nervous, like what he was saying, like talking about it. He's like yeah, like Wuhan's like totally shut down, and the teacher's like very nice, like hopefully and like all of us were kind of just like oh like very interesting, like oh can't leave the house, like wow, and like no idea that this was gonna totally happen to us like a month or two later, but it was just so funny. He's like my parents are very scared, like they might get contagious and like they can't leave their homes and like they're so nervous, and we're like interesting, like those Chinese, like all the like such a communist state, like well, like we took it so not seriously and with no. I just totally remember her being like very good, like whatever his name was, like that's you said they can't leave their homes, like interesting. Anyway, let's move on, and like totally oblivious to like I think we were shut down like a month later too. You know what I mean? So. that was really funny.
That sounds like a satire, or like that sounds like a sitcom or something like that.
It was so funny, yeah. Like looking back and being like, we were just so did not give a shit about what he was talking about. No idea that it would totally alter our lives. Like a couple weeks later.
I'm just imagining this kid being like, listen, like China shutting down and all this shit, and then like everyone's just like golf clapping, like.
Yeah, we're literally like, good story, very good.
Yeah.
Like they deliver their groceries to. Oh wow, that's easy. Yeah. It's like that was really funny.
How was your quarantine, by the way?
It was good. I feel kind of not indifferent about COVID. I'm a little torn because I think like if I could go back, I would absolutely say like, fuck that. Like let's not like it took a lot away from me as far as like that was like when we had just become like members of the fraternity.
Yeah.
And like we didn't really have any events that first year, like our junior year kind of, and like the ones we did were like kind of not great. So like COVID totally took like I consider like fraternity from me sort of, because like then all these young guys like pledging and I'm not even meeting them, and then like I didn't know so many of the younger guys, so like definitely did not get as close with my like fraternity as I would have if COVID hadn't happened. So I'm pissed about that. Like that'll be a big like regret, is that like, you know, that kind of got taken away from me. And also like I lost an internship for it. Like I had one lined up and they were like, oh, we're actually like not going to be able to do it anymore. And then because of that, like I struggled really hard to get one before senior year, just because like I didn't have anything on my resume.
Mm-hmm.
So like that sucked. And then, you know, resume's not that good even like getting a job here. So like low-key COVID kind of also put like my career like off track, because like, not to say the company I work for isn't like great, but it's not like, you know, the top tier, you know, kind of engineering company. Like I definitely not doing any like, I really don't even do any engineering honestly, but you know, it's pretty like we're not known, you know, we're not known. If something bad happened, they're not gonna be like, oh, we need to go get the people from like Armstrong. Like they're like, let's get them on this. Like we're kind of like laid back. It's like, all right, we're making money. Like everyone's doing their thing, whatever. But yeah, definitely not like a GE or something like, you know, like that, where it's a little bit more impressive. So like low-key, I blame that on COVID a little bit, because it canceled that first internship and that kind of just like fucked everything else up.
Snowballed out. Yeah.
Right, but I will say that because of COVID, all the bars being shut down, that's why we had so many parties at our house, because like you couldn't go out. So we got like super, super close with all of our neighbors through these like ragers of parties that were like super fun. And I don't know if that would have played out if not for COVID, because, you know, I think our senior year, there were some girls that we were friends with that were a year older than us. They all graduated, and then like, you know, juniors moved into their house, and we wanted to like meet them because we already like, you know, knew the house so well and everything. And we like tried to meet them and like didn't really work, because they would just always be going out to bars and stuff like.
Yeah.
And like, I wonder if the girls that we were friends with would have done the same shit if they could have gone out to bars. We never really would have met them and gotten as close to them as we did, which is just like interesting to consider. I could be wrong. Like we probably could have thrown all the same parties and done exactly what we did, even if the bars were open. So then just like fuck COVID altogether. But there is a part of me that thinks that the only reason we had like so much fun in our house and meeting our neighbors is because the bars were all closed. So I guess I'm a little bit torn, because I'm like grateful that all happened, but who knows if it would have been better. I don't know. But yeah, like my one roommate got suspended because it was actually funny. We threw like a little get together on like Thursday and on Friday, and then on Sunday we get like a report that Joe got suspended. And they were like, yeah, there was a party on Saturday. We were like, actually, that was not us. That was our duplex neighbors, but you could have caught us any other time.
I remember the vans that were going around.
Yeah, dude.
People. I forgot about that.
Dude, we wanted to, like, my buddy found one parked on campus when he was, like, walking from class. He's, like, slashing tires right now. Like, fuck it. Like, they would drive, like, taking pictures. Like, bro, that is such a waste of, like, university resources. Yeah. Like, why are you coming to my off-campus home and telling me what to do? Like, oh my God, this is the biggest pain in the ass. We had, like, it was a game day, and so of course we had, like, a bunch of people over, and it was Halloween or something. And this van drives by, and we all split up into like pods of like 5 or however many the minimum or maximum was you were allowed to have together,
Yeah.
and like split to like different parts of our yard. So it looked like we were just like a bunch of little independent parties. I think it kind of worked. Like, again, he just had to like email a person, and they would like unsuspend him, and it was no problem. But like, definitely a real pain in the ass. I got COVID twice, possibly a third time, but I didn't actually get tested that third time. Yeah, we all got COVID. I mean, we were still like hanging out and doing stuff that didn't slow us down socially at all. So like we weren't really staying indoors much, as far as, you know, like the CDC guidelines and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But that definitely sucked. Yeah, we hated that fucking van.
Yeah, no,
So ridiculous.
I remember the people across the street from us, they were just like playing die with like both houses combined, and like the one house has 11 people in it, so it's like no matter what you do, there's gonna be more than like the CDC recommended.
Right.
And the other house, you know, has like 5 or 6, and then the van came around, and I don't know, they left us a package of face masks, which was kind of cool. But then the guys across the street, they were like, "Oh yeah, you 6 are all suspended," and I'm like, "What the like?" It's, again, to your point, like, oh, there's like, you know, shootings on campus and like all these, you know, the reports of like people being mugged and stuff. But no, we're gonna drive around and count people.
Right, and it was cool though. One time they thought we were being socially distant, so they gave us all like donuts and like hot dogs or something.
Yeah.
Like, so that was cool because like we definitely were not doing that, and we didn't deserve that. But like even that, like that's a good gesture. Like such a waste of money. Like if you actually look into like the finances of this university, it is so good at wasting fucking money on total baloney stuff. It always drives me crazy when I'm at like, I'd go to like the RPAC or the North Rec or any like gym, and there'd be like 4 people behind the desk, like just sitting, chit-chatting, doing nothing, and like 2 people. It's not like I needed help on, you know, it's not like the gym was like dirty or like I needed somebody to be going around helping me. It was just like, why are we paying 3 extra people to sit behind that desk right now? Like there's no reason to be paying 5 fucking people on a shift where you need 1 person. Like shit like that. I mean, if you look at how much money is spent on the stupid ass fucking stuff they do here, it's crazy. And you'd think, I mean, like Ohio State will never, even like without their tuition money, which like, you know, is crazy expensive and like all that, like the college is totally a scam, but like their endowment is huge. Like they're never, like you could pretty much give college for free just because of the amount of money they make off their endowment. And like they have, you know, they get all these special exemptions and things because they're like a big public university, you know, like they're just supported by like law, like the government is behind them, like helping the university. So like the university has so much money and spends it on the stupidest shit, and it really grinds my gears. But now that I'm not a student, I don't really care as much.
No, I agree. Shout out to Christina Johnson and her giraffe neck for doing all the stupid shit she does.
Shout out Christy J.
I think you're like, I don't know if you're reading my cards or not, but like you've started touching on a bunch of different subjects I got here. So
That's funny.
Yeah. What's what fantasy?
Yeah, I suck.
Dude, I'm having a mid off this week with Haig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're both projected under 100.
We're doing a punishment. We have like our end of year punishment is loser has to record a rap album. It's got to be like at least 6 songs long. You got to have a feature on one, like in a diss track, like. So that'll be funny. Second to last is to eat a tube of toothpaste.
That just sounds terrible.
Right. And then, but we wanted to spice it up even more, so we're doing weekly punishments. So whoever has the lowest score at the end of each week, is like punished or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm close to the bottom. I was talking a lot of shit earlier.
My buddy's house has the same thing. They have a wheel, and this week the wheel was you have to finish a case of non-alcoholic beer.
That's funny. We might put that on our wheel. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm gonna lose to
He was
Clay
struggling.
fucking Highland Route. His team's ass.
His team's always ass. I don't get it.
This team's gonna put up 50 points. That's awesome.
But what's your relationship like with your religion?
I'm not very religious. I don't know. Hopefully my family doesn't come across this, but no, I don't. Religion just doesn't really play a role in my life. I don't really think about it. I don't really. just not really religious at all.
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, kind of what you touched on earlier. I feel like going to like religious like schools and having it shoved down your throat. It's like you either like, to your point, like become like a religious nut or like just completely like, I don't know, fight against it. 'Cause,
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to like, I'll go to church on like Easter and Christmas with the family and like do whatever like my family wants, because like I respect people who are religious, and like I'm happy to, still want my family to be like happy, but like
yeah,
personally, like I'm not gonna go to church by myself anytime soon. That's for sure.
I don't know if there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I do like the cultural idea of being like Catholic, because it's something a little different. So like, I don't think I'll ever not consider myself Catholic, but not like practicing, kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, similar situation. Outside of the high holidays, I couldn't tell you the last time I've been to synagogue.
Yeah.
What's your biggest regret?
Luckily, I don't have a ton. I don't know, just some of the stuff that's coming to the top of my head are like, I've had a lot of like stuff go poorly with like women, which was like my fault. Like there's a couple that I would like to have a second chance, like a do-over with, just because I was being like, drunk and stupid.
Yeah.
That's usually where a lot of my problems these days come from, is like I get drunk and do something stupid. Maybe like focusing more on like getting like better internships, or like, I don't know, like I'm not totally happy with, my job right now is fine, I'm like happy with it, cool,
Yeah.
whatever, but like, I do wish I was in a little bit better spot career-wise, I guess. I just like, I wish my company was like a little more impressive. I don't know, but I don't know if that's because I didn't like apply myself enough when I was in school to like focus more on like jobs and career and stuff, but I definitely could do better with that. And what else? I don't know. Nothing too much, nothing too big. So I'm very fortunate. Like this year, I'm living with the 3 girls like I talked about, and like that's not my favorite thing. It's like I regret not being more proactive at like finding housing, or like getting like living with some of my other buddies. Like it just kind of slipped through the cracks. So like that would have been nice to like have that have worked out, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I get it. I feel like in a similar way, like if it wasn't for the fact that I got roped into the house I'm at right now, I would have been like, or I don't know what I would have done. Like,
So who do you live with now?
it's me, Carter, Aiken, Peter, Seto, Sam, Ketz, and Vino. And
On that house on 14th that
yeah,
they,
that I
yeah.
used to live, yeah.
Okay. Is Carter still, so Carter, they're all in that house? 'Cause
Yeah.
Carter used to live like 2 doors down from that house.
Yeah, they essentially just moved from the
Next
apartments to
door.
the house.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's been a good time so far. Definitely a college house, I'll tell you that.
Do you like older guys do anything with like all those guys, or like did they kind of all do their separate shit? Like do they all run off on weekends and do frat stuff, and you guys kind of do like your own shit, or like are you guys just like basically still in the fraternity?
I mean, I'll go to block, but that's about it. And even then, like, I'm kind of picky with my blocks now, because like I went to Arkansas State block, or
Yeah.
one of the like not big blocks, so there was out of town from Notre Dame, and I was like looking around like, who the fuck are these people?
Yeah, right. No, literally.
And so that's like I didn't go to the Lederhosen thing, or like I don't go to chapter, so I don't even know like when things are. I'm just like I just assume like block is a thing, or
Yeah.
maybe go to afties, but. I mean, they're all still in the fraternity. I'll even said I was like going to shit. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn, that's. I would love to still be doing that, but whatever.
Nah, it's all right with me. I'm perfectly happy, not or like doing my own thing, hanging out with like I don't know, going to short north bars and shit. Like
Yeah.
yeah, as much fun as a TG sounds right now. What are you most worried about?
I don't know. Everyone's nervous of like the future and everything, but like we talked about, I got some important decisions to make on like where I want to live, who I want to live with, what I want to do, and like all that kind of shit. And I think I'm worried that I will, kind of like we talked about, where you have too many options. I'm worried that I'm gonna like not be happy with whatever I choose. Which again, you can make any environment like more beneficial. Like if you're not happy, you can make it work. But and then after a year, you can move again and get a new job. Like it doesn't really even matter that much. But I'm worried that I'm gonna go somewhere and be unhappy, or start a new job and be unhappy or something. But nothing I can really do other than like try to prepare. So.
Yeah, it's a fair worry. I mean, like the problem is like you gotta try it,
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like I don't know about you, but I feel like the best stuff that I've experienced is like the stuff I wasn't expecting to like, and then I ended up loving,
Mm-hmm.
So
Like what?
festivals, music
Festivals?
festivals. Like I'm a bit,
Oh really?
I like a concert. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but like walking around all day, paying for like overpriced stuff, like having that like in between time. But I went to my first festival in September,
It
and
was like EDM thing.
it was Kid Cudi's festival. So it
Oh
was like
okay.
I don't know, like Don Toliver, Cudi,
Mhm.
Playboy Cardi was there, but he sounded like shit, and also not the big Cardi guy, but like it was a lot of fun. It was like
Yeah.
there's always something to do. Like we had a nice like dinner break where we were just like sitting down, like eating a burger, watching like Haim perform, and like because I don't give a shit about Haim. My sister will kill me if she hears about that. I don't know. Like I was looking forward to it mostly for the Cudi thing, and everything else I was like, we're gonna be all right. But then honestly, one of my like favorite
Yeah.
trips I've been to in a while.
That's cool.
What's the hardest thing that's happened to you this past year?
This past year, my grandma died in the like winter, like January, February. So that was pretty tough, just because I've never had like someone close or in my family that's like died. So that was like the first one I've had to like deal with. So that was really tough, and just it's hard to see your family be really sad. So definitely that I would say first thing comes with.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
What's something that made you laugh really hard recently?
My first thought is like my fucking TikToks, just because like the feed is so good at like catering to your likes and things. So I always like love just going through my likes on TikTok, because like and I like tweets
Mm-hmm.
because like they're all catered perfectly to what I think is funny. So like I can just sit there and scroll through things I've already liked, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so funny. Like
Yeah.
Adam Siebert, you are a genius for like putting this together. There's some TikTok. You ever see the slideshows on TikTok too?
Yeah.
So I'm seeing like tweets on TikTok, and I will laugh out loud at them. It's so funny. Just people, just like 20-something, even like teenage fucking dudes making these like shitty ass like memes and stuff. And it just fucking kills me.
No, they're hilarious.
They're so funny.
Like you said, the For You page just gets you.
Yeah. Right.
Who's your hero?
I don't know. I don't really have a hero. I always try to like. There's a lot of people I like respect and kind of. I don't know if I'd say like look up to, but like. Yeah, guys that I like look up to, and I'm like, damn, I want to like. Either like be more like them, or kind of like go in the path that they have gone in. So I'll kind of like try to do like, oh, like this guy, like was also a mechanical engineer, so and like he's really successful, so like maybe I'll like kind of go with whatever. So I always have like, I always kind of pick apart like little things from people that I'm like, oh, he went to Ohio State and was really successful, and like so I always have kind of people I use as guidelines, like framework for my own kind of shit, but I don't think I would say I have like a hero.
What's your favorite tradition?
Every year, me and my mom, on Christmas Eve, we watch It's a Wonderful Life.
Mm-hmm.
Just me and her, and I fucking love that movie, but I won't watch it until then, because I want to like build up the year until that point. I fucking love that movie, and I cry at the end of it every time, so that's like my favorite, one of my favorite traditions.
It's a good tradition.
Yeah.
What's the best thing that's happened to you this past month?
It's so sad. Maybe when this guy that I've been trying to reach out to for work, like finally emailed me back, like, and trying to do this project, and it would go so smoothly if this guy would just like throw me a freaking bone.
Yeah.
And he never. I would just leave him messages and send emails with no response, over and over and over. And finally, he like got on the phone with me, and like we talked, and I was like, hallelujah, I can move forward with this. Which is such a sad thing to say.
No, I get it. Like when you're stuck in a place and you just need someone to do
Right.
one thing.
So
one
frustrating.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get it. What do you think your past self would think of you now?
Probably would wish I had a little bit more discipline and was not as big of like a fucking alcoholic as I am. But nah, I think he'd think we cool. I think we're boys. Yeah, I don't know. He might have higher aspirations for me than that are. I hoped I held a higher standard for myself than I might be, but I think he'd be really happy that of like who I am as a person and everything. So yeah, I don't think there'd be any complaints.
I'm sure you would be. What do you think your purpose in life is?
God, I don't know. Make as many people happy as I can. Touch people. Make other people smile and laugh.
Touch people.
Yeah, I want to touch people. Touch people.
Are you fulfilled?
Am I fulfilled?
Yeah.
No, I don't think anybody really is. I'm always yearning for lots of stuff. Everybody always wants more of everything. Yeah, I mean, I'm content, but I would definitely not say, what was the word you used?
Fulfilled.
Yeah. No, I don't think I'm fulfilled.
That's a good way of putting it. Where do you see yourself going in the next 5 years, personally and or professionally?
I have no idea. Professionally, still think I'll be doing corporate America. I'm not unhappy with any of that. I don't know if I'll be at the same company, if I'll be at a different company, if I'll be at a plant, if I'll be not at a plant, if I'll be working from home. I have no clue, but I definitely like my degree, so I definitely will be still doing engineering, and I will probably still be in like a corporate-y type of setting and company.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Probably will have a girlfriend by then, though. I'm kind of finally trying to like actually settle down a little bit. But yeah, hopefully I'll be dating somebody by then. But everything else, I don't know.
I gotcha. And what do you want to do by the next time we film another episode? I don't know when that'll be, but I'm saying 3+ years from now.
I don't really have any big goals like that. I just kind of try to keep myself in like a happy balance, So like, it's not like if I was like swimming, right?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm swimming and I'm like counting the number of laps I'm doing on the pool. I'm just kind of trying to like make sure that I've got like, I'm still above water, So I always try to just keep myself in an environment, in a situation where I'm happy, but I don't really have like big goals, I would say.
I gotcha. Well, that ends the conversational part of the podcast.
Beautiful.
Wrapping up here, I just got some quick hitters for you.
Sure.
First thing comes to mind, but try not to overthink it, right?
Sure, yeah, lightning round.
Yeah, so this is a moment in the mind of Adam Rebo
Rebo.
What's a song that's been stuck in your head recently?
SOS by ABBA.
What's your favorite quote or lyric?
I want to fuck you hard in the sink, after that get you something to drink. Kanye West, bound to.
Bars. What's the best show or movie you've seen in the past month?
I'm watching Better Call Saul, that's really good. Yeah.
What's the best thing you've binged recently?
The best thing I've binged?
Yeah.
Andor's really good, I'm watching that too. I don't know if you can call it binging because it's coming out week by week, but maybe I would flip my answer. I'd say Andor for the first one and then Better Call Saul for this one because I binge watch like three episodes at a time.
I gotcha. What's the best book you read recently?
I read one called, I don't read that much, but I just read one called The Myth of Sisyphus, and it wasn't very good, but I did read it, so it counts.
What's your current job?
I'm a project engineer. The company I work for makes ceiling tiles, so I'm in a big manufacturing plant, and I have like 8 or 9 different projects. Anything from as simple as like, most of them, I'd say like 4 or 5 are old machines, like you gotta replace like stuff like sprockets and chains over their like 10-year lifetime or whatever. So when one of those machines is due for like a rebuild, it's my job to like do it. So I have to figure out like, where do I order the parts from? How much are they gonna cost? Like, when are they gonna get here? I gotta schedule the like install, and like figure out that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't really do any engineering. I'm just more of a project manager, which is cool.
Right. It looks good on a resume, right?
Yeah, it does. I've got like, I'm solely responsible for like $1 million. So
Yeah. Do you want kids, and so how many?
yeah, I do. Not a lot, like 2. see what the wife says for that one, but gotta get my parents some grandbabies.
What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
I do like the conspiracy theory that JFK was assassinated by the government, like the CIA.
What's your favorite spot to eat nearby, whether it be sit down or fast food?
The taco joint with the pancake balls. You know what I'm talking about?
Nah.
Fuck, what's it called? Catalina's.
I've heard that's so good. There you go.
They have these award-winning breakfast tacos, and I will dream about them. They're so good. I'm too scared to order anything else when I go there because I know I'll miss out on breakfast tacos. You gotta go there. It's pretty pricey.
Yeah.
It's always freaking busy on Sundays and whatever, but
It seems worth it.
yeah,
Everyone
you
loves
gotta
it.
eat breakfast tacos.
What's something you think that's underrated?
Rain.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
If my shoe's untied, I could be riding a roller coaster. I will tie it on the spot. Right when I notice it, it drives me crazy. I just bend over and tie it.
What's your favorite quality about yourself?
I'm really social. I'm good at talking to people, and I think I'm really easy to get along with and read people and stuff like that. It's my sociability.
Yeah. What's your favorite outfit?
Been rocking with the sweater a lot lately. Kind of throwback thing. I have no idea where I got it, but
I fuck with the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that.
it's cool.
What's your biggest hobby?
Hobby? God, I don't have a lot of hobbies, which is so sad. Probably just watching movies and shit. I don't know.
Who are your best friends?
Joe and Kyle and right now Sage and Deli been hanging out with a lot. Ryan Evolve, some names for you.
I gotcha. What's something that you have to do every day?
Bring my AirPods to work. Listen to music. Probably listen to music low key. I listen to a ton of music.
That's a good answer. What's your proudest accomplishment?
Proudest accomplishment? Maybe my probably winning state volleyball. That was pretty sick. I was gonna say maybe my academic scholarships to high school and here, and I made more money than my goal was always a lower number, so I was happy to do better than that.
Oh yeah. What's one thing you want to own?
Want to own? Well, I thought maybe one day I'll get a little two-door convertible, old kind of style coupe. That would be fucking sick. Because I used to drive a convertible Jeep in high school, and it was a real small stick shift Jeep, and I fucking loved that thing. So I'd love to have a small convertible car eventually.
Sick. Where do you want to visit next?
Where do I want to visit? Just to finish Chicago. I want to go down to Nashville. I've been to Nashville, but I wasn't 21, and the strip there is just so fun. It looks so fun, and everyone fucking loves it. So I definitely want to do a real trip to Nashville with some of my buddies.
What's one piece of advice you have for yourself, for me, for the world, whoever?
One piece of advice. Do your thing, man. It's a big wide world out there. There's plenty of rules and regulations, but don't let that hold you back. You can kind of just do whatever you want, you know. Fuck around, I can quit my job tomorrow if I want, and I can, I could start paying rent in a new apartment if I felt like it. You can just do whatever you want. Just do whatever, man. Do whatever.
And last but not least, top 5.
Oh my God. Homer Simpson, Saul Goodman, Michael B. Jordan, the Garrett guy from Dude
Yeah.
Perfect, the Purple Hosier,
Okay.
and the Chit and Dead Gremlin.
5. That's a top 5.
That's the top 5. That's the top.
Probably the most
that's
unique
the
top
top
5 I'm going to hear on this show.
Probably.
See, I appreciate you coming.
Thanks, Lando.
Yeah, it was a good
Happy on the
episode.
pod.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
All right. Thanks, dog.
See ya.
Let me get another freaking water. So what are you gonna do?